banks, and I'll start with a question. For capital markets, for banks, which bank would you rather be? The one that did the IPO on SpaceX, or the one who heard about it from the media? It's not a trick question, it's a very simple one. So that's basically the premise. So DealsAgent helps bank know about the deals that are coming to market, like SpaceX, before they come to market, before it's too late. So basically our vision is to give banks mandate intelligence for investment banks, and specifically for the ECM wedge, equity capital market, on follow-ons, IPOs, convertibles that come to market. How did I start with this interesting capital market idea, you probably asked? I was working in space. So I was working at capital markets at Morgan Stanley, and then I was an account executive at S&P Capital, at Bloomberg, and at DealsAgent. And I heard the same pain from my clients, which is, how do I find the best deal? How do I make sense from all the data that we have, all the data that we have now on the platforms? It's all historical data, and it's granular, it's complex. How do I make sense of it? How do I get insights? How does it help me originate the next deal and do diligence on the deal? So with that said, I came to my partner, Ritesh, who is the one behind the first transformer at AWS. He developed Bloomberg GPT, and I pitched him the idea of, this is what my clients are asking. They ask to find an AI solution, AI layer on top of financial data to develop financial insights, and we developed just that. So basically the problem we're solving is that right now banks don't know when, who, and where. They don't know the timing of deals that come to market. They don't know who. Who are the issuers that they should target? You know, should I target Apple, or is it a loss of time, you know, to just even approach them? And where? Where do I have coverage, right? So banks usually have ECM desks and M&A desks. They usually have coverage. They have coverage by geography, they have coverage by industry, but maybe if you're a bank, maybe you're covering a few industries and you're missing some others. So if you have a gap, we're telling you about it. So basically what the current system is, the current problem is, we're relying on league tables and internal revenue reports that are lagging, and we need a system that will show us you know, the next deal that are coming. And this is just to show you a quick example of the impact, real life impact it does to banks and sponsors. As you can see, this is the top of the league table. Major banks like Evercore, they're very centralized on a certain product, and they're missing a lot of deal types, a lot of segments, and the fact that there's a gap in coverage can cost banks, we did the analysis, $10 million on average a year. So we see that a lot of data platforms have came to market, but there's still no layer for ECM origination. So this is basically what we have. We have a platform that has the relationship graph. It tells you the probability that you're going to close the deal for the bank, probability that an issuer will come to market for an IPO or for an acquisition, ranks the issuers by the likelihood that they'll come to market, shows you the percentage chance of you to close the deal, and it shows you the coverage white space, where you are versus your peers in different segments, in different geographies, and what you're missing. This is how the platform looks like. You open your pilot, so to speak, and you can see names that come to market. You see the drivers. Why do they come to market? If it can be refinance wall, it can be any other reason that a deal is going to come, whether IPO, follow-on. You got the rank for it. You see the relationship. Who do we know? You see the chronology. of when the deal is coming to market, so you can be the first mover to bid on the deal. And just to quickly show you a demo, a use case. So just pretend you're head of ECM origination at Scotia. You can just ask a natural language question. Show me, where our revenues come from. It will show you the composition of your deals. Show me how we're doing versus our peers. The agent knows who your peers are. He will do the same composition for your peers. You can ask question like, show me the IPOs, who do we have it with? It will show you all the companies. Then you can ask, what do my peers have? It will show you the companies that your peers have. Then if you want to target something, you want to target a name, you can ask specifically, should I go after that issuer to make a transaction? And DealsAgent gives recommendation. It gives insights. It tells you the relationship is sticky. These were their book runners. These are the transactions they've done before. And you have a chance to crack into this issuer or you don't.